David Sanders is a Tennessee Volunteer. Just moments ago, it happened. The announcement went down, and Tennessee now lands the number one offensive tackle in America over Georgia, over Nebraska, over Ohio State. There's a lot of others, but that was his final four. We're going to break it all down in this video. I got Austin Price from VolQuest on the show. He's been screaming Sanders to Tennessee before anyone else, so we got to get him on to break it all down. But first, Tennessee fans, make sure you guys are subscribed to the On3 Recruits channel. We love talking volunteer recruiting all off season long. You're going to want to jump on board for the season. Hit subscribe for me, please. All right, let's bring on Austin Price. Austin, simply put, how'd they win this one?
A lot of just old school recruiting. I mean, they just built a relationship with him over time. I mean, obviously NIL's a play with any big time kid. A lot of times in those, when you're talking about a big time kid like this, it's apples to apples what this kid's getting offered from schools, right? And so it boils down to relationships with coaches, how he sees himself in the Tennessee offense, how he sees himself getting coached by Glenn Ellerbe, how Glenn Ellerbe coaches in practice. All that stuff, I think, checked off for Tennessee. You're right. I want to give myself a pat on the back here. I've been saying Tennessee for the last several months. In fact, I've been bullish on it. I just think that it made too much sense when the kids started driving over here, when the family would make these trips because they wanted him to get a feel for what it was like. Little things like that, you just start just noticing little by little. He went here more than anywhere else. He went here last. All those things lined up for Tennessee. And it is a huge get for Josh Heupel and company as the state of North Carolina has become a breeding ground for Tennessee since Josh Heupel got here, just 4 years ago. Not to be too long-winded here, Josh, but if you go back, the inaugural class for On3 that Charles Power ranked, it was James Pierce, the number one player in the state. No one else had him that high. Looks pretty good, right? I mean, he's the number one player ranked by several different people going into the season for all of college football. Number one player in the state. The next year, Charles Power has David Hobbs, number two player in the state. Last year, nobody. This year, David Sanders. And then they've already got the number one player in 26 in Faison Brandon. That's either the number one or number two player for the last 4 years or 4 of the last 5 years in the Tar Heel State.
So talk to Tennessee fans. Maybe they're tuning into recruiting right as the season's about to start. What are they getting in David Sanders? Why was Tennessee making him such a priority on the trail this offseason?
An offensive lineman that can bend, is athletic, continues to get bigger. I mean, he's now near 300 pounds. Really is looks the part. It's super intelligent. When you talk to him, it's like talking to a 40-year-old. I mean, he just can. He's wise beyond his years. He just gets it. Big personality, big smile, a great teammate, all those things. And all that's because, his parents kind of raised him a certain way. They've done a fantastic job. And, I know Glenn Ellerbe and Josh Heupel right now are to the moon. They're excited. They're thrilled. And this is something that, they really kind of pinpointed him last year at night at Neyland, first day of June. He came and went through the camp at Neyland. And it was game on from there. And Tennessee's done everything. They've hit all the right notes between now and then.
What does this mean for this Tennessee recruiting class in the 2025 cycle? I mean, we remember the Jordan Seaton recruitment being runner-up last year. It kind of would have really rounded out that recruiting class. But this year, you get George McIntyre on board early. Now, with summer coming to an end, you got David Sanders. I mean, this is really shaping up to be something of a recruiting class.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. David's going to pull them right there, fringe top 5. They're going to, they're the odds-on favorite for Onis Conan Banny, a 4-star DB, which is next Friday is his decision. And then they're trying to work to flip a few kids. So, you look at, just kind of some of the guys Tennessee's going after, they've got a chance here to, potentially end up as a top 5 class. Again, I don't get as much into the top 5 rankings anymore because some schools don't take as many kids because they're trying to focus more on the portal. So that could hurt their overall high school ranking. But in terms like Jordan Seaton, really good player, would he have helped Tennessee right away? Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Obviously he'll get that shot at Colorado, but Tennessee ends up getting Lance Hurd, an equally impressive 5-star top talent who's had a year in college out of the transfer portal, and that helps them there. So either way, I think, Tennessee's done a really nice job in this class. They've hit all the spots they really need to hit. If there was one spot that I think they really need to try to find somebody, it would be interior defensive line, and that's where I think they'll rely on senior evals or maybe a potential flip.
Well, today It's all about David Sanders. Tennessee recruiting now has 22 commitments toward their 2025 class, and they just landed the #1 offensive tackle in America. So Tennessee fans, talk to us how you feel, and how do you feel about this class, and how do you feel about the upcoming season? Let us know. Comment section below. Well, you've made it to the end of today's video, but there's hundreds more videos on the On3 Recruits channel for you to check out. And also, while you're here, hit subscribe.